back to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty, where on this channel, our vision is to empower the impoverished by helping you find financial freedom through crypto assets. If you like the mission, you resonate with the vision, and you find this content useful, please subscribe and leave a comment and a thumbs up. Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty. So we're gonna revisit the issues that went down with Bankteller and Forex. I had a chance to listen to it live. I posted that already on my channel, and I went back and listened to it probably 2 or 3 times now, and listened to other YouTubers. So I want to give you my personal opinion on it after listening to other people evaluate it, and now some other stuff that I uncovered that kind of changed my mind on how this played out, and just want you guys to know about it. It's again my personal opinion, obviously not financial advice or what to do in future Bankteller projects, but since the communities are tied together, I want to play these clips for you and let you make your decision as well. But first, I want to remind you, as always, we got this contest till the end of 30 April. So not as always, sorry. So about 2 more weeks. Remember, if you want to participate to get free health and fitness coaching, join my drip team, stake at least 2 drip, or when the Piggy Bank launches, put $45 in the Piggy Bank Pigs BUSD, and then join the Telegram, send me a screenshot and hit me with a DM, and then that will get you 30 days of free health and fitness coaching, delivered all digitally. And also, if you're one of the first 10 people, you will get access, or you will get a free 1 drip airdrop. So if you put in 2, you get 1 back. And for those that are new, what's included is it'll be 30 days of certified personal fitness and nutrition coaching. I have the links to my certifications in the description. And you'll have all this is on our digital training app. So you have access to our Healthy Habit Kickstarter program. Also, the digital training tracking app, where you'll be able to communicate with me, where your videos and written instructions for your exercises will be delivered, and future discounts on continued service, and potentially still the nutrition coaching meal plan. It's like another $150 value. So if you're interested in that, drop a message below, or just follow the steps, or join Telegram, and I can walk you through it. But I want to jump into this real quick. So I actually pulled out the audio from the Telegram group, and going to play that for you guys. I have a couple timestamps. This website here in the background is the official responses from Bankteller, but I want to play the actual audio from, I'm calling it an AMA, but it wasn't really supposed to be an AMA. It was him in the DGen protocol group, and was just interacting, and then went back and forth, and Forex came in and but some different interesting alpha from Forex side that I'll actually put in another video, because it needs to have its own separate video. But this one, the purpose of this is to give you some insight into how Bankteller is as a dev, and you can make your own decisions as to what that means, and how you want to invest in his projects. And I'll summarize it at the end, but I want to play the unbiased audio first, because that is the most critical, so you can hear it straight from him, and then you won't be getting any kind of like biased information from me. So this first clip is BT talking about the problem, and knowing about it, and what his solutions are, or what he plans to do. So 1 second.
It's a custom engineered contract.
So in terms of DeFi, what do you do to be like you suing this certic?
Suing?
Yeah, in DeFi terms, what's the equivalent?
I mean, there's okay. So the the good news is that I was looking at this problem for a while, and making plans to move to a different model based on the community behavior and stuff. So I'll be the first to just simply say we had reserves in different forms, and I think something that the community wasn't realizing in the first place is that I think the stakers especially too, a lot of people were just converting the elephant treasury, converting the treasury back to BUSD, basically selling elephant and minting trunk, which is unwinding the work that we've done. The mechanism works because it takes tokens out of the liquidity pool, which slides the price up that parabolic chart. If you unwind that, it goes parabolically just as fast back down, and that's what we saw. So our liquidity only got chopped in half, but our price went down more dramatically. But since we have such deep liquidity, ultimately, yeah, we only, it's
Horrible effort.
very. I mean, we still have way more money than most projects.
All right, so that was the first part, and I think that's super critical that he mentions that he knew about it, and then he kind of deflects the issue and says that he had reserves in place and kind of like systems in place, and he blames the community if they had have just held and not or not held. Sorry, if they had to been unwinding his work, basically the way the protocol was set up, then this wouldn't happen. And he actually goes into more detail in another clip, which I'll play later. But there's already from the beginning of this kind of some finger pointing and not taking ownership. So the next clip we're going to talk about or going to come to is he's basically asking Forex to have Rugdoc and Paladin look over his protocols. And Forex comments on this. So Forex shortly joins during this AMA, and Forex basically says, that he doesn't put a lot of stake into the auditors themselves. But let's go ahead and listen to that. That should be right about here. Oh, hold on.
For you then. And, I'm gonna take what you said at face value, and I'm just gonna ask a simple request. if I know that you work with Rugdoc. I was in the same room as Rugdoc at BTC 2022. Do you think after the events that have affected both our communities, because there's only one community and they happen to use both of our services, products, whatever you want to call it, protocols? All I'm simply saying is I went to Rugdoc, I went to Paladin, I asked for these audits. They said no. I know that you work with them. If there's one thing that I think you personally could do, to talk to these auditors and say, hey, we need to protect this community and we need to help this community out.
Yeah.
Can you do that? I
can do that, but I put such little value in these auditors, man, and I don't. I mean, I'm not part of their team or anything, and I don't want to talk badly about any of them, but they've missed stuff in our projects that we found after the fact and just from our due diligence. So I don't know. Like, I wouldn't rely on auditors. But
I'm going to add this other clip to this before I comment on this. It's a little more detail, basically about BT asking for help in this protocol. Then I'm going to give my summary on this issue and why I think this, says a lot. So let's go ahead and, play this one, go back.
I thought, all right, you just spoke
No, I said
about yourself in
BB.
third person.
I said BB.
Oh, BB. Oh,
You
BB.
can send me.
BB's actually, yeah. So but but they're not. I don't work with them. They're not my team or anything.
All right. Well, I guess the last part is, we have constant communications. If you were to button this up yourself, you can share like this is what I would do to protect the mint. You know what I'm saying? You can always just do that.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
So
I
just
could.
do that. Like, have BB send me some code over.
This isn't BT. You sound like BT.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, I thought. All right, you just spoke
No, I said
about yourself in
BB.
third person.
I said BB.
Oh,
I said,
BB. Oh,
he
BB.
can send me.
BB's actually to on a early team. If someone would be sending you code right now, it wouldn't be BB. But
maybe the Serta
anyways,
guy.
man,
Maybe the Serta guy you're talking about.
dude, you should be able to figure this out, man. You should be able to figure out what the issue is, because it's not a hard one.
I know what it is. I know what it is. I'm just saying in the spirit of burying hatchets and making sure this community is safe. Because, like you said, the main failure was that we had a conversation about this months ago, like you said. But the response was, I was like, well, if you know something, we should talk about it. But we never talked about it. So, and we're seeing that can't happen for elephant. That can't happen for drip, animal farm, because it can't happen for any project. And if we cooperate, I mean, like I'll give you an example. Piston team had an issue. And I didn't have to help them, but I knew that I was aware of their launch, and so I reached out to help them. That's money that like potentially could have came to elephant money and stuff like that. But I still supported them, that team, even though I really wasn't that invested in them, just because I knew that community members were in their project, and if they made a mistake and they were about to, it would have caused problems. So I helped them out, and then they were able to get back on track. So I think we're at the stage, especially for the amount of time that we've been in the space, that we really have to take the sort of take the fact that we know where a lot of the bodies are buried and stuff. Like we have to help people, if not just to protect the shared community. It's about share of wallet, and we earn that based on merit. But at the end of the day, when money leaves the space through bad actors, it's hard for any of us to recover from that, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't like the fact that people have been saying, dump all your drip for elephant and dump all your drip for trunk for the past 6 months, and then all of that capital essentially goes to some hacker. I mean, that doesn't make me feel good. I didn't want this to happen. But when did you realize that this vulnerability? Because I mean,
BT, you said you knew about the vulnerability. So did you reach out to Forex? I mean, if you knew about it, how
No, we did that and we dismissed it, but also my auditors dismissed it as well. So
okay.
So the yeah.
If you knew the potential was there, why didn't you just fix it? Was it more complex than that?
Yeah.
We, as I stated before, what was done in this actual implementation was way more sophisticated than the hack, than the remedies that we thought we already had in place.
Yeah, the reason why I was asking when you knew, because you're kind of saying if I had reached out and let you know, but I did say there was a vulnerability, and I was kind of under this assumption that you knew what it was, because it's kind of glaring. And I did, and honestly, other than that, I let people know that, hey, there's a vulnerability here. I assumed you probably knew what it was. It's very glaring. And then I just paid attention to my own stuff, building my own thing. I wasn't thinking like, I got to go save Bankteller and his thing. I wasn't even thinking about your project at all. But when I saw the vulnerability, I did tell people.
Right, but we never got.
All right, so I'm going to summarize. That to me is the most telling information about Bankteller's character and his ability to code. So one, he's asking Forex to send him some support. And basically, can you get someone from Paladin or whatever to look over the protocols? And then he said, what about getting, since we're in constant communication, having BP send over some code to button this up for him? And Forex said if it would be someone sending code, it wouldn't be BB. Then he's like, well, what about the Certic guy you were talking about, the guy that Forex hired as another dev? So this is just, I'm going to be straight honest, man, pathetic. So look at it this way. If you were getting a house built and you picked a contractor, and this contractor is building your house and they just keep messing stuff up, right? And then that contractor instead wants someone else, the house down the street with a better contractor, to come over and fix their problems for them. That doesn't make any sense. No other business does that. Like, and you're the dev. If you can't fix this yourself, you have no business coding. Like, it's just that plain and simple. And the fact that he's I agree the space needs to cooperate and collaborate, but at the end of the day also the space needs to weed out the shitty devs from the good ones, needs to weed out the rug pulls and exploited contracts from the good ones so that people can invest in the right projects and make money in DeFi in the long term. So unfortunately, this is a necessary evil and the light needs to be shined on it. And the fact that BT thinks that it's Forex's job to support and do that. And I applaud BT for helping out the Piston team. But again, if you can't code, why are you putting out contracts and asking for people's money? Like, I don't get that. If I'm like any other job, you actually lose your job if you can't do it correctly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Point blank, if you go to the doctor to get something worked on and they do it badly, it's called malpractice and you lose your license to practice. Like, you don't get someone to come over and fix the heart surgery you botched and that you continue to botch and you keep your license and keep doing this. Like, you lose your license. If you build a car and it has an issue, it gets recalled and that model is no longer being done and the person who is in charge of that probably no longer has a job. Like, you don't get to keep doing the thing that you're not good at and expect people to pay you for it. Like, I don't get that. Like, on the one hand, yes, I'm all about support, community, and all this stuff, and the DeFi space needs that in order for other people to get in. But if you can't do your job correctly, don't do the job and don't ask people to give you money for it. Like, I'm a personal trainer. This is a perfect example in the personal training world. If I can't train you, I actually don't take your money and I will point you to someone else that is better qualified. Like, I'll literally tell people like, hey, if you got these issues, if you're this and that, that's not my area of expertise. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. Let me refer you to somebody that's better than that. Like, it's not for me to get them, the other person is better qualified, to write the programs, train the person, and then I get the credit for it. Like, this makes literally no sense. The fact that BT had the gall to come in this group and say that, yeah, I've lost all respect for the guy. I don't even know anything about him. I'm not in any of his projects, but this is clearly, to me, indicator that no one else should be investing in his projects. He doesn't know what he's doing. Not long term. Maybe he's good enough to write like ideas and he's a visionary or whatever the case may be. But it's not something that can sustain itself, and the people just keep getting wrecked in his programs or protocols. So if you're still in it and you have faith in it, then I feel really bad for you, because he goes on in here. I'm going to play that last clip and I'll be done. But he goes on to say that basically the exploit that Forex told him about wasn't this one. He said this attack was much more sophisticated. So that leads me to believe that there's still another exploit or this can happen again. And he does mention a couple times that he's got the auditors and all that stuff looking over it. But remember, these are the same auditors that already looked over it. So what kind of faith does that give you in a developer if he's going to have the same people looking over the contracts, and that's actually what I wanted to bring up here, that already gave him the green light, and they're telling him, yeah, it's good, but they already told him it was good. So that just means to me that it has the potential to be exploited again. He's going into Rev version 4.3. There was some stuff from the auditor, Peck Shield, that pointed out these vulnerabilities, and then in here he said, "Yeah, we already knew about them." Trying to find out where that went, but you can read this yourself. But I'm gonna play this last audio clip because again, this is very telling, in my opinion, of his character, who he is as a dev. Doesn't take ownership and doesn't know clearly how to code correctly to support a long-term project. He's got great ideas, I guess, and can hype a community, but long-term sustainability, I just don't see it. Play this one.
The pace and speed and communication, it's going to be different styles and different time frames.
Okay, I just have one question. Let me ask you this one question that's bugging the shit out of me. When he told you 4 months ago that he saw an exploit, did you really take it seriously, or did you just think he was trying to tell you so people wouldn't buy your project compared to his? Was it just a butthurt project type of deal?
I think we've covered a lot of ground. And we're at V 4.2. And so a lot of changes have been made to the contract to improve security and price performance and everything else. So,
But what you did, what he told you 4 months ago, was that a serious
I think a lot of
thing?
people are armchair quarterbacking, and everybody has a plan to get punched in the face. If you check out the Medium, everything I need to say is in the Medium. I've spoken to that, so I suggest you read the Medium.
No, I did. I just asked you that. If
You know,
guys had-
Bankteller, I just wish you would own it more. That's the only thing. Like,
What?
own the mistake, address it. We move forward. We know it's going to recover. But I just feel like, you know, you're just dancing around what happened. Let's just own up to it. And I think it'll be
When I have Medium posts and AMA and working with partners to triage the issue, I don't think I'm dancing around anything. I think I'm resolving the issue.
Okay.
But I'm not the one that exploited the freaking contract. I'm not the one that took people's money. I'm the one that's working for the community, with the community to, you know, rewrite.
Always stutters.
The all of this.
Please.
Bro.
And then we got to deal with knuckleheads like that who don't add any value and are faceless.
Don't blame other
Everybody
people.
knows what the hell I look like and what I do.
Oh, we know you get Bankteller, and I respect what you do. I'm not trying to flood you or anything. I just, like in my business, when we fuck up, we own up to it. We just say, yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, it was told to me 4 months ago. I should have been more proactive.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would ever come to that, you know, because who the hell is going to get a $260 million loan, and, you know, for that, you know, that's all I guess all I would be looking for.
I mean, these are the most sophisticated. This attack is super sophisticated. I have Tech Shield on this. I have Insurace on this.
You were alerted to it months ago. You didn't fix it.
This is not it. This attack is way more complicated with way more resources. Yeah.
What was it exactly that Forex warned against then, if it wasn't this?
Maybe explain it for the newcomers, light version.
That's not true. It was a very simple flash loan attack. It was very simple. It was extremely ridiculously simple. But anyways, I came back to say BB did say that he would glance at the code to help you guys out. He glanced at it. He realized that it was that you implemented the issue that we fixed with Drip and let you know. But please don't go around saying that BB is working to fix Splasive or anything like that, because it's just not true. It's bad faith. But anyways, Bankteller, this was a simple vulnerability and a relatively simple.
How about Forex? How about you just leave and let me speak on my own problems? You speak on yours. How about that? I'm not speaking on pigs and dogs.
I came here
advice earlier.
I came here to say something else, and you guys were talking. So he specifically just said, "What was Forex talking about? If it was some extremely complicated thing?" Because they asked me to give an explanation of the vulnerability in the exploit earlier, and when we were both in here, so someone asked to give an explanation of the vulnerability, and I said, "Why don't I let BT do that, right? Since it's his project, and maybe he would want to explain it more than me." And you were, I don't know, on mute, or you left or whatever. So I explained it, right? But I specifically said, let BT explain it, right? And I explained it, and it is a relatively simple exploit with just basic bad logic that was that was exploited through a simple flash loan, right? When you're deriving the payout for a reward mechanism based on the price of an asset, and you're only utilizing one oracle that can be manipulated with a flash loan. That's all they did, right? And they just cycled that same thing multiple times so they could drain the full thing. Anyways, I already gave a full explanation of the exploit in here. So, a lot of people, probably everybody here that was in here listening to it, understood exactly what happened. It's not that complicated, but anyway, that's subjective whether it was complicated or not. But anyways.
I'm right here.
All right. So that was the last one. Basically asking him, did he take it serious? Or did he think what Forex was trying to tell him was legit? Or was Forex just, did he think Forex was just trying to stop people from getting his project? So point being, either arrogance or at a minimum, definitely gross negligence. Like, he admitted multiple times in his AMA that he knew of an exploit and that he had some systems in place for migrating or moving forward and yada, yada, yada. Then he blamed the community for unwinding the work they've done by taking the rewards out of Elephant and selling them, or vice versa. I don't know. I'm not actually in it, but the point being, there's very little ownership, if any, in any of this. Like, he never stepped up and said, "Yo, I fucked up. I wrote this code, and I had no idea there was this vulnerability in it. The auditors that I have didn't see it." Or actually, the auditors did tell him about it, apparently, so he can't even say that. But at least saying, "I messed up. I didn't think this would happen, even though I knew there was a vulnerability in it. I thought we would be able to migrate sooner," or something like that. Like, some kind of ownership would have been nice. But instead, he's deflecting the entire time, telling people they just need to hold and that there's nothing to worry about. Like, man, again, I don't know about his other projects, but this just drives more validity, in my opinion, to Drip and what Forex has done. Yeah, we had the animal farm pause now for 5 weeks or so now. And there was a little bit of liquidity loss, I think like 600 grand or whatever, but I'd rather that than this. And this is just ridiculous. So at a minimum, we definitely know that Forex is a much better developer and coder, because even BT was asking for help on this. So back to my original analogy, if you can't do this, if you're working in any other business, if you can't do your job, it's not someone else's job to fix it for you and you get the credit. I do agree that the DeFi community and crypto as a whole needs to clean up, but it's not someone else's job to run your protocol, look over your work, do into that stuff. And even Forex kind of said some stuff about BB looking over the code for Splasive, because that's not their job. They need to put all their focus on building their community, and then the other people will run from those communities to the ones that are actually working The same way you buy electronics or a car or anything like that, you buy from the one that has the proven track record, and the other ones get the bad rap, and people learn their lessons and stop using them. That is exactly what it's designed to do. Yeah, it sucks that people have to lose money, but again, the analogies I gave in other circumstances can be much worse. You make a shitty car that, you know, explodes on impact, then those are lives lost. This is money that you can at least get back, but you know, you lose a life or a surgery or something like that, that's much more life threatening. Having someone practice a skill that they're not good at or not qualified to do, and they continue to promote it, and then end up getting people's lives more at risk or wrecked in the long run. So to me, this was just a clear indicator to not get into any BT projects in the future. Not financial advice, you guys. I know there's a couple other channels on here that are bullish and support him, but you just listen to this. I played it for you. You can go back, listen to the whole 4 hours. Bankteller just clearly showed his true colors, in my opinion. At a minimum, like I said, negligence because he knew about it and let it go. And on top of that is not qualified. Again, clearly from him because he asked for help to get the code fixed, and doesn't have any means, in my opinion, to actually be coding. So those two things let me know that if I invest in any Bankteller projects, that I'm going to get wrecked, unless you get in like super early and get out, you know, like first day, first week, something like that. I have no idea. I think that was the same way for Flow, but long term, yeah, this is not a good look, in my opinion, for BT. So my thoughts and prayers and hopes for those that decide to stick around in his projects, but this just showed clearly where you should be putting your risk capital if you're looking for these types of games to play, so to speak. So, all right, guys, that is it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. That's just my thoughts. Obviously, not financial advice, not trying to talk bad about BT, just taking literally the information he gave and giving my perspective. So, this is just me analyzing what he put out there. So, that's my thoughts on the matter. Best of luck to the rest of you that are still in it. And until next time, guys, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.